It's time for Rabbi Minkowitz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowitz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Devarim. The question of the week is, how can we be the greatest optimists? So in this week's Torah portion, Parshas Devarim, which is always read before Tisha B'Av, it's one of the 3 weeks of the destruction between the 17th Tammuz and the 9th of Av. So this is the last week. So we read from the Haftorah, it's called Chazon, which is the vision of the prophet Isaiah, where he prophesies the destruction of the temple. As a matter of fact, one of the names of this week's Torah portion is Shabbos Chazon, Shabbos of the vision. The vision of what? Referring to the Haftorah of the destruction of the temple. But we also know that this Shabbat has another vision. What's the other vision? We know that in this Shabbat, we all receive a beautiful vision of what? Of the third temple. So here it's interesting. On one hand, you're saying we have the vision of the destruction of the temple, and the other hand, you say you have the vision of the third temple. Which one is it? Is it destruction or is it the rebuilding? Or are we supposed to be confused? And both. So it's interesting, the Rebbe brings out a very, very powerful answer to this question, and he says, based on the Medrash says as follows, that Allah Ariel, the lion, referring to the power, the strength, got up. The Mazel Aryeh, in the month that has the spiritual power of Ariel, and Hichriv, and destroyed Ariel, referring to the temple. So, and then the Medrash says, in order that the Aryeh should get up again, in the month of Aryeh, and rebuild the temple. So the Rebbe says, first of all, why the destruction? Why would God want to destroy the temple? He tells us not to destroy things. Why is he destroying it? So the Rebbe says, if you give a look in that Medrash, what does it say? The same energy that got up to destroy the temple, that is the same energy that's there to rebuild the temple. Now why is that? If it's destruction and rebuilding, why is it coming from the same place? So the Rebbe, based on that Medrash, says that here you see that ultimately the purpose of the destruction is not to destroy, but the purpose of the destruction is for the rebuilding, and rebuilding greater than before. As you see that the actual same energy that destroyed rebuilds, because the purpose is to rebuild even greater. And based on that, the Rebbe says exactly. In other words, Chazon Yeshaya, from the vision of the destruction, you have the vision of the actual rebuilding of the third temple. So to answer the question, how can we be the greatest optimists? To realize that in every destruction and every challenge that we have, the seed for that destruction and that challenge is the seed for the rebirth and for the blessings that will come after that. This week's Torah lesson is in memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information on Chabad, please see our website.